Let me get this started real quick. Oops. Uh, so tonight I'm going to be talking about the anti-ICE protests. They're not just happening in LA; they're happening in Chicago as well. So if you're a business and you'd like to sponsor the Homeless News, I'm Friar Tuck. This is the Homeless News. And if you're a business and you'd like to sponsor one of these nightly sessions, please reach out to me, friartuck at hobotuck.com. If you're an individual and you'd like to sponsor me, you can come on over to Patreon, $5, $10, $20 a month, or you can just do a one-time down in my tip jar in one of the descriptions. This channel is funded by crowdfunding. So anyways, now that I've said all my basics and stuff like that, looks like we've got the regular showing up. Okay, let me get this. So what we're having tonight is we are having what is it? We're having top ramen with egg, but so I got the Augustin Farms freeze-dried eggs, and they don't taste really good. Here, hold on a second. Let me get this going. They don't taste really good if you try and eat them alone. So I'm trying to mix them with stuff. So I'm mixing them with Top Ramen tonight. We'll see how that turns out. So I got 2 packets of Top Ramen, beef flavored. Where's the beef? Okay. So, all right, now I got that out of my system. All right, hold on. The only thing I'm missing is some cheese. And then this could be more egg and cheese than anything. Oops, let's get that out of there. Let's put 1 more cup of water in there. Ah, that's enough. I don't want too much, but let's get these eggs in here. All right. So let those kind of heat up and warm up a little bit. Put that down there. Alrighty then. Got the spatula. Got this. Got to put this in there, and then I can get back to. Okay, so if you guys if you guys heard me on the live stream where I talked about how the fires, the wildfires, or the basically LA was razed to the ground, right? Well, I was saying that it's a possible act of war. I have information that says that it's has to do with the cartels, and the cartels are doing this. If Donald Trump has declared war or whatever on the cartels, this is them retaliating, and so therefore the southern border is going to erupt. So what is the reason why is these anti-ICE protests, why are they popping up? How are they being done? I actually have. Oh, there's Sam. Oh crap. I have actually been to in a city. I was in Cincinnati, if you guys remember, during the pro-Palestinian protests that they had there. Oh wow, these turned out so much better. Maybe it was just the cast iron that was making them bad. I don't know. Maybe I might have some on the side and see what they taste like. But they don't actually look half as bad as they were the other day. But I bet they are. But anyways, if you're homeless and you're in the middle of these protests, man, it's gonna make for a very long night. And if you're anywhere near where they marched or anywhere in the inner city, you may have to deal with, those that are instigators. Those are people that are trying to do stuff. And as a homeless person, you might end up joining in because, yeah, I don't know, that's what homeless people do from time to time. So, all right, this is done. But you have a situation that's very ripe, and I think what's going on here is that there is an actual that there's a fight over California. See, when I was in my first homeless shelter, which was the Dallas Life Foundation in Dallas, Texas, I managed to meet some kid who told me that he was next in line to be a general in the Mexican mafia. Now, all the different cartels and all that other stuff, they generally get their their orders or their they get their blessings from the Mexican mafia. If you're in Mexico, if you're in one of the other countries, then you got to get it a different way. But the Mexican mafia is kind of like a subtle hidden governor within Mexico, at least from what this kid was explaining to me. That's actually not that bad now. Okay, so if you want to cook these, you don't want to do it in cast iron, you want to do it in something like this. And you want to fry it in butter, and you want to mix it really, really, really well. Okay, so just so you know how these Augustin Farm eggs are, because it's going to be part of, I think I made way too much. Oh well, I'm going to have, I'll have munchies later on. But, you have essentially, yeah, you have a war going on. And so you're watching these protests, okay? And so if you're in the inner city, yeah, it's going to be a hairy night for you if you're homeless. If you're not homeless, you should probably kind of keep your noise down so that you can listen to what's going on around you, because at least with these LA wildfires, there were people taking rocket launchers out and firing them to just kind of start some random fire. So this is something that that you as a homeowner or within a city should be aware of, because in a lot of ways, what's being put in jeopardy? Well, with the open borders, it allowed for trafficking of all sorts. It allowed for a free flow of goods and everything to go across. It allowed the black market to flourish across the border. It allowed a lot of different things. So what do the cartels have to fight for? Well, they basically had just as much free reign here in the United States as they did down in their own country, because of the way things are going. So this is just something that that I think that you should definitely be aware of. There's really not a lot of information, but I will tell you that a lot of these protesters are paid. And so even like the union and stuff like that I tried to get into, in order to be able to get into the union, you had to go join in one of their many protests. And if that was the only way that you could get any jobs through the union or anything else like that. So they basically had their own little army. Plus, if you go look, especially if you're in San Francisco or LA, or even Chicago, Sam, knock it off. Or LA or anything else like that. You could go on Craigslist. They're paying $15 to $25 an hour, most likely in these days, because I know they were paying like $10 to $15 an hour back when I was in San Francisco in like 2005. So that was you got to realize that most of those people don't even believe it. And if you listen to some of the news stories, you'll even hear the one guy basically was on the side of the immigrants. He was there protesting for them. And then he basically said everything that Trump said that he was going to do with the whole thing. Yes, I know. You knock it off. One, she doesn't like it. We got 50-mile-an-hour winds here, guys. So the signal may go in and out. But also with Sam, she doesn't like the trailer shaking, and she thinks that this is part of her food, which it is not. So, but I wanted to put her up there because that puts her out of the way. And hey, you guys get to see Sam while I'm cooking. So at least one of us gets to be popular tonight. Okay, so hold on. Better still, but still not good. Yeah. So I think this is done. This should be done. So I've got eggs in here. I made way too much. I was thinking, man, I'm going to be hungry tonight, but let's see if it's done. Yes, it is definitely done. Well, Sam might be getting a little bit of ramen tonight with some egg. Or I might save it for my munchies later on. I don't know. I've been eating a lot lately. No, lay down. Lay down. Knock it off. Knock it off. Stop. Stop. She's trying to get as close to me as she possibly can. Stop it! I'm eating. You quit. So this is what she's normally doing off camera. So, and she can't eat this until the steam goes away anyways. And I gotta get my fill. So let's see what everybody's had to say. Okay, my favorite ramen. Okay, Sam. What's up, DFH? Nice to see you. What's my shoe size? Uh, um, let's see. I usually wear 9s or 10s. So, okay, okay. All right, so we haven't got, yeah, I know, I'm kind of, this has been a busy day. I told you guys that I would, what's up, Rails? I told you guys that I would be working on getting the contracting and everyday, videos up and everything else like that. I had to figure out a way to do it. So today I recorded the, I recorded the introduction video, and I'm starting to set up my schedule. So every Friday. So there's 2 ways that you can do it. Okay. So I found out through my through people that are paid members over on Patreon why they do it. And they say they do it because they want to help me, because for their various reasons. They believe in what I'm doing, and $10 a month really isn't much for them. I'm gonna have to go get that bucket. Sorry, the wind just blew a bucket in here. I'm gonna have to go get it. It's one of those Christmas buckets. But anyways, so how do I've been trying to figure out how do I create value over on Patreon. And it's like, well, the people that are coming over there are coming over to sponsor me. Now I'm at a stage in my channel where I need to start creating digital products. The digital product in which I'm creating are some of these little tutorials of little things that I've learned along the way that you can apply, whether you're homeless or you're prepping. So, for instance, if somebody sends you a legal notice, do you know how to interpret it? Whether you're, it doesn't matter where you're at in life, whether you're a prepper or homeless. If you get a legal notice, you want to know what to do with it. You want to know how to handle it. What are your processes? Do I need to go get a lawyer right away, or do I have the ability and the skills and the knowledge and the know-how to be able to do it? Because for 2.5 years, I fought banks off. I fought, what bank was it? I think it was Bank of America that I was fighting off, because they had 2 properties next to each other, and they put it in holding companies, and the holding companies were supposed to maintain them, but they didn't maintain it. The fence was falling apart. You had vagrants that were in there. You had grass that was so tall it needed to be mowed every week, not every 2 weeks, and it would probably get mowed maybe once every couple of months. And then only stayed in that holding company for so long, it would go to a sheriff's sale, then their next holding company would come in and bid an abnormal price. I mean, the first house I had, it should have gone for more than 140 as a sheriff's sale, and it was going for 180 and 210. But if you look at the paperwork for the mortgage, it was like a $220,000 house at the height of the crash in 2008. And so, the banks don't do anything. So what I do, I use only case law called adverse possession. And using the adverse possession, what I did is I had to communicate with the banks. I had to communicate back and forth with the lawyers. I managed to, I got my butt kicked when I did it, but I mean, it's not a myth that the courts are in admiralty, and once you understand the hierarchy of law and understand where admiralty stands and what admiralty means, you'll understand the significance of this. But I was able to move from statutory law over into an admiralty court, but I got my butt kicked. I thought I knew what I was doing, but I didn't, and that was like a huge learning experience. I had to learn to stay in my lane, do what I knew how to do. I had to spend so much time researching it just to make sure that I was doing the right thing. That's the reason, most of the people that tried to do what I did ended up in jail. I didn't end up in jail. Why?
in jail because I understood what I understood how to read a contract, how to write a contract, how to follow through on a basic legal process. Now there are things where, yeah, I still need to go get a lawyer because either I don't know how to do it, I don't want to do it, or it requires such precision that it's better to go to somebody that's their skill level and what they do for a living than to do that on my own, because there's just some things that you don't want to leave to chance. I haven't found any yet, but there's just some things that you don't want to leave to chance. Actually, no. When I was getting discriminated with Sam, was happening. Anyone getting really choppy audio? Okay, is the audio getting back, guys? Okay, what's up, Invisible? Okay, let's see here. All right, how's everybody doing on Signal? Let me know. How's everybody doing on Signal? Are you guys getting good? I think it's the wind that's causing it. Yeah, there's normally I get 3 bars. I shut my phone off for about 5 minutes, and I won't turn it back on. This is a neat little trick. If you have signal problems, before you reset your network settings on your phone, go over and just shut your phone off for about 5 minutes. Once it comes back online, it'll resync with the tower, and it usually fixes your issue. If that doesn't fix your issue, then you do a network reset, and if that doesn't fix your issue, then you call your carrier. But this is the standard operation I've learned. And if you call them up and you tell them that you've done all that stuff, that'll be the quickest. That'll be the quickest. What do you call? That'll be the quickest turnaround you'll ever have. See, the purpose of this is not to teach you to be a lawyer, because lawyers have their place. It's to teach you to do all the footwork up front that saves you money. If the towers have issues, yes. Well, yeah. Well, I got 50-mile-an-hour winds, guys. I'm so sorry. I had the problem with a video earlier, but hold on. I'm dealing with these winds is crazy. So the point is not to do the process, to do the full process. You can go to court. You can do some of your things. I mean, if you feel comfortable, if you feel experienced. But if you want to do all the legwork and you want to save yourself several $1,000s in legal fees while still going to a lawyer and getting a lawyer to do what you need them to do, well, if you compile all the evidence, if you know what due process is, if you know how to word the letters, if you understand what it is that you're trying to accomplish, if you understand these different things, then you can run this process yourself. And all it takes is probably about, I don't know, it doesn't really take long to wrap your head around it if you understand it's rules. It's the rules. The Constitution is a contract. The contract is, and it is renewed every 4 years, every time we have an election. That's why having more than 50% of the general population voting for any election is important, because if less than that does, then that's a vote of no confidence, and therefore there are people that could go to court and argue that that the Constitution is no longer an accepted document in the land. Because the thing is if you have less than 50% participation, that's a way to peacefully dissolve your government and force it to restructure itself. Because if 60% of the population decided not to vote and only 40% did, what that would say is that we have no faith in our leaders, in our government, and in our system. And so therefore, just like you have the government collapses over in Europe and in everywhere else, even in Canada, where all of a sudden, the people turn on each other. Mm. So, but anyways, what you guys got going on? Hey, what's up, Cherokee? Sending you rollerblades. Somehow you can be mobile in and out of town. Dude, no, Alfred. No, don't send me rollerblades. Oh, are you nuts? You're asking me to get injured. Mm. You're asking for me to get injured. Okay, so you still haven't left Canada? Well, how come you Yeah, Sam's just chilling, but if you notice what she's looking at. Oh. Hmm. It's still not cool enough for you to have any dog. Mm. Yeah, it's nice to give your dog hot food, but you got to be careful that it's not too hot, because I think that's why Sam. It was nice enough for me, but I think it was too warm for her, and uh, uh, and she threw it up. So I was like, yeah, no, I gotta watch it. Mm. Yeah, Cameron. So apparently everybody's capitulating with Trump. Mm. Okay, you guys enjoying Sam? It's almost ready for you, baby girl. Hold on. You know what? You're gonna get extra fat if I keep feeding you kibble and this. Mm. Mm. Hold on, let this sit for a couple more minutes and then you can have some. Okay? Yeah, she's got. I guess I had a bigger eye than my stomach. Hold on, let me grab my tea real quick. Hey, anybody know how to put a tarp over a trailer without a second person or a ladder? That's something I got to do tomorrow. I have no choice but to get that done. So first thing when I wake up in the morning, because the wind's supposed to die down to something reasonable tonight, I'm gonna end up using my straps from my hammock to see if I can use that as a way to use the wind to just pull it right on over. We'll see if that happens or if I actually have to ask somebody for help. So hold on a second. Okay. Um, but anyways, what do you? Let's see. What is today's Tuesday? Who else feels like it's already Friday? Throw, uh, throw it, but might get stuck. Yeah. Well, that's the thing I gotta get over to one, two, three separate vent holes on top. Okay, so I gotta do that, but and that's kind of where the straps are. So I'm hoping that I can get it up on one side, get it up on the other side, and just when I come to cinch it around, basically I'm hoping that I have a long enough rope. I might have to, I might have to just put two of my. What's up, Nicole? Nice to see you. Um, I might have to. What's it called? I might just have to put two of those straps together and see if I can do it that way. Because I got to figure out some way to be able to, uh, to be able to get this done, to pull it up and over. Uh, I I have a feeling I'm gonna have to basically I'm gonna have to rebuild this trailer from the chassis up. I have a feeling just from what I've been able to observe in the little over a month that I've had this thing, because just like when you go into a house, sometimes it's really good at covering its dirt, and you don't realize how dirty the house is until you start getting into the little corners and nooks and crannies and start realizing how much of a dirt buildup you got there. polite like that with this. But I may be doing. I don't know if you guys have seen that. If you know the community post that I put up of the girl that shared my stuff from my other channel. She and I may be doing a collab. I don't know if we're gonna do it over here, if we're gonna do it on the other channel. We'll probably do it on the other channel. I don't know. I just we're in the talks in the in this we're in the phase of talking. You know, trying to get everything set up, see if everything's good. Yes, the wind sucks here. It's about 50 miles an hour. Yeah, I've been fighting the wind, making sure that the animals are taken care of. I've been doing my videos, and I got so busy today, man. I'm probably gonna go to bed early. Like after the live stream, give me like an hour, and I'm gonna be out. So, all right, baby girl, let's see if this is cool enough for you yet. Hold on, I don't want to. Yeah, and then I had to chase after one of the goats today. That was fun. All right. Yeah, the dog gets to eat top ramen. For those of you that tell me that my dog eating this food is bad for it, apparently some lady's been giving her dog scrap food for 23 years, and that dog still runs around like a spring chicken. That's why I had to ask her what she did. She's like, I don't feed it kibble. I gotta get away from feeding Sam kibble. Maybe save it for emergency or something like that. But I start feeding Sam. Like when I eat, she eats, and she just gets small portions throughout the day. And hopefully, you know, because that's what I did with her on trail. She would only eat, like, breakfast would be the only time I give her. Hey, what's up, Bush? Breakfast would be the only time I gave her kibble because my breakfast was liquid, and you know I needed to give her something. But then she would snack with me all day long, and then she'd be part of my dinner. You know, that's part of how I lost like 50 pounds. Yeah. So, is that good, baby girl? You enjoying it? Yeah, she's getting really nippy and like food protective. Nobody steals her food. She gets all this food, and she started to become very protective over things. She looked at me this morning when I had to go pull her off of she had her nose in a place trying to find something, and I went to pull her away, and she went to bite at me. It was like, damn. So, okay, what's up, Invisible Man? Okay, so okay, I did that earlier. But anyway, guys, yeah, I'm sorry. I'm really tired. Normally, I would be doing a little bit better. Some days are better than others. Hopefully tomorrow the guy brings the battery, and hopefully one of these plugs works so I can get some power charge up before the rainstorm hits, and then, you know, bring it inside. I need to order a part though. It's gonna cost me like $40 to get a to get something that I can just hook up to the battery, keep it inside, and not have to worry about it, because I'm worried about it getting wet and causing some sort of electrical fire. Because you know that's the last thing I want to do is have my home go up in smoke. Proper training would nip that in the bud. She's been properly reprimanded. You know, she knows that she's not supposed to do that. I mean, I broke her a biting to begin with, but she still, I don't know. I think a lot of it had to do with the chaos that was, you know, Farm Girl coming into my life and then Farm Girl leaving my life. Why do you do that? You know, I think that chaos plus, you know, trying to play with the dogs, and the dogs didn't want to play with her. Nobody liked her, all that other stuff. So she, Sam, kick it down. Kick it down. Yeah, kick it down. Yeah. Yeah. But, you know, she's, she also had a lot of autonomy when we were on trail, and so even though I disciplined her in certain ways, I gave her so much latitude in other ways that's kind of what's backfiring and biting me in the butt. You can get retro stationary bikes to charge battery on eBay. Retro stationary bikes. Okay. Yeah, there's a guy out of Tucson that sells the 40 some odd. Down. Lay down. That sells the 40cc kits and stuff like that. He'll build you a bike from scratch. About $500 is what the guy paid for it. He says he does it. He goes probably about 25 miles an hour on that thing, but I don't need a license or anything else like that. So that would be nice to have. I also have, if this guy brings the electric bike tomorrow, I'm debating whether I still buy that other bike or if I just let it go. It's just a bike frame, a chain, and an alternator. Yeah, well, it's just having the understanding of knowing how to, the chain reaction, how to set it up. Having the tools, because you also, from what he did to the guys, he had to put like next to, so you have where because it has to be a hardtail, so you have where the bike goes in with its trainers, and then you've got another wheel on the outside, and that's how that whole thing runs. So I'm wondering if they had to do some adjustments to the back of the hardtail, or if it's just perfectly fine going that way. I don't know. Yeah, so, no motor. Well, the one that I want to get Militant Roots is, I want to get one that has the motor, because like for a gallon you can get 100 miles, and so even if gas goes to $10 and $20 a gallon, well, $20 to get 100 miles still ain't bad compared to driving a vehicle where you're only getting like maybe 15 miles to the gallon or something like that. Maybe 25 if you're driving a newer vehicle. So wasn't calling you knucklehead, Milton. Okay. Tuck thinks we're talking about riding bikes. Okay. Talking about riding bike, I'm saying a bike to make electricity. Oh, okay. A bike to make electricity. No, I'm not gonna be a hamster. I'd rather put Sam in that, let her spaz out on there. So, okay, yeah, no, a bike for electricity. Yeah, they're talking about bicycle hooked up to an alternator to charge things. Oh, okay. No. I ain't doing that shit. Hell no. It's bad enough that I'm even considering getting on a bike. I would rather walk, but the way that my pack rubbed my back for all those miles, it really messed up my lower back. I have a hard time walking. Plus, from when I did the splits back in Maryland, my it hurts from my ass to the back of my knee still. It's getting better now that I'm doing consistent miles every couple of days. A windmill would be for a windmill. Actually, I'm talking with Paranoid about a windmill right now. He's already sent me the everything that I need for it. I can get it for about $500, but we're gonna set up the solar before we set up the wind. But yeah, with all the wind that we get here, man, I could get a crap ton of. I'd have to get like 2 or 3 extra batteries just to meet because I mean it's consistently 15 to 45 mile an hour winds here. Anywhere from gusts, usually after about noon, 1 o'clock is when the winds come in, and it goes till about 8 or 9 o'clock at night. Sometimes it goes through the night, and sometimes it's in the mornings, but most of the time it's like early morning. You get up, like if you notice, everything that I do is like in low light in the early morning, because that's the only time that you can really get outside and do anything. Unless you want to, like, you really like I've never 50 mile an hour winds are no joke. I mean, it's not going to knock you off your feet, but you're going to definitely have to put some strength into it just to move along. So it's free. Yeah, well, no, not the bike, unless, well, yeah, I don't know if it's free electricity or not. Okay, would be allowed to build frame for turbine before you pay it off. Would be considered stationary. You know, that's a good thing to be thought of. Like I said, that's second on the list. What we need to do is get me 300 watt solar panels and what is it? And get me a battery. Like, I want to get an Anker battery, but that's like $260, $270. But and the solar panels are inexpensive. It's less than $1 a watt. I mean, you can go to Tractor Supply and get 100-watt ones for like $89. Or I can go get refurbished ones for $89. So for the ones that go on top of houses. So it just depends. There's a solar panel company out of Arizona that sells used panels for cheap. Yes. There's one in Show Low that I know of, and apparently there's also one I think in St. John's, that I was told about as well. So they have, no, not in St. John's. There's one down by the Y, which is where 61 and 60 split. The battery isn't what you want. You want a solar generator of at least 1,000 watts. Yes, but the thing is, to hook it to the trailer, I don't know. It just, I need to be able to stand alone and take this power system with me. A solar generator is something that I want to get, but I have to fix my immediate power needs before I start worrying about storing excess power and being able to get extra power. I mean, that is in the plans. The generator, the wind turbines, and 300 watt solar panels, maybe a couple of more. I don't think I'll need any more than 300 watts, honestly. And be able to run that to everything that I want to do here. But it's going to take a couple of years to get to all that stuff. It is what it is. The battery isn't okay. Motive. Hold on. I got Power Queen batteries. They are pretty good. Huh. Miles per gallon. Motive. Okay. Battery inverter charge controller is going to be the cheapest route. Yeah, well, the one that Paranoid sent me is there's a budget you can. It's a decent solar setup with a quality battery and a budget panel, but the guy did it for like $250, and he got something that was. He was looking for stuff like Anchor or Blue Yeti, stuff like that, and he was able to find something comparable, and he did it for about $250. Now this was several months ago. I don't know what prices have gone to, but this is something to definitely keep in consideration. It was what I was gonna do until the guy decided to split up payments on me, and it's like, I'm frustrated because but anyways, he was supposed to pay me one lump sum in full, and I was just gonna pay the $250 and go get the setup that this guy was recommending. But instead, because he was splitting it up, I've just I set it up to where I set it up to where I got a battery coming, and at least I've got power, and that is going to be the centerpiece, because everything's got to be able to charge that battery, because I've been asked, like, how do you charge the battery? From what I understand, I'm supposed to be able to use the solar panels to charge the battery in the off time while I'm using like my backup battery or something along those lines. So I don't know 100. I swear by Anchor Home Solar, do whole house central air with it for sub $4,000. That's not bad. Yes, Chris. Just worry about his electrical skills. Okay, battery inverter. Yeah, I have minimal electrical skills. I mean, I had to do some of my own electrical work on the second house. I even rewired from one junction box to another, but I don't. Once it gets to a certain point, I call in an electrician, because I'm not that skilled. I can do basic stuff, but I can't do anything too major, just because, one, I don't have the skill level or the training for it. Bike dynamo on eBay, $15. Anchor is great, but it's a luxury brand. If we're in a position to buy once, cry once, then do Anchor. I'm gonna have to, Jeremy, because what I need to, one of the things that really frustrated me while I was out on trail, and what kind of kept me poor for the last couple of years, is I went and got necessities immediately then when I needed it, instead of like sitting there and waiting and kind of sitting on it and like and just letting the money build up over time and going and getting that. Instead, I would go buy this product to get me through, and then that product would fall apart, and then like a month or two later, I was replacing it with a different product, and I was constantly replacing stuff. So any money that ever came in, I wasn't able to put it aside or anything else like that. And so in a lot of ways, that kept me poor. When I bought the Slow hammock and the Eno under quilt, that was like I had the peace of mind knowing that for at least a couple of years, I'm not going to need to replace any of my my basic sleep gear, which was extremely important to me, because I mean, if I was replacing my hammock or a tent every 3 months, it becomes very expensive, more than, you know, cry once buy once, because you end up some things you need to have quality, but you have to balance quality with durability. Anchor's a brand that I swear by, because of Alfred. But I think that sometimes there are some things where you need to buy quality, and power is where you're gonna have to buy quality. Your sleeping gear is where you're probably gonna have to buy quality. Um, Quality on a backpack, no. Unless you're getting it because you have like back problems or stuff like that, you want to go get the what is it, the oh, I forget the brand. It's the backpack, Osprey. Get the Osprey Cloud, because you know you want to be able to loosen like you package like I do. Something like that would be where you go get like high quality. But really, your pack is going to last as long as you go like mid range. You don't have to go high end brand on certain things. You know, my Puffer Wolf. It's not a high end brand. It's more like an entry level brand to like high end camping. So it's like mid level. So you want to buy quality on certain things, and then you don't have to buy quality on most things. But it just depends upon what's important to you too. I hope you guys have a good night. You too. So I have Anchor power my solar generators are vitamin. I use a 600-watt one every day. Held up for over 2 years. Yeah, I think I would put more of my money into the backup battery than I would the generator. So yeah, I might go more budget on the generator, but you know, as far as like the backup battery, the Anchor block, that would probably be where I would go for that. But I don't know. We'll see what happens when I get there. All right, guys. This has been a quasi homeless news tonight. I hope that you guys got some enjoyment out of this. I definitely did. Sorry, I was. I'm gonna be busy and doing a lot of stuff around here, so expect me to be tired most nights, because now that I have the ability to go and do everything that I want to do. I don't have to, work around somebody or anything else like that. I'm starting to get these projects worked on, around the weather and stuff like that. And then when I have to come inside for the weather, I end up working on my YouTube stuff. So I'm becoming so much more efficient with my time that I'm becoming more and more exhausted. But all right, guys, you guys have a good one. Thanks for being here, and I will see you tomorrow night, same bat time, same bat channel.